Are we headed to a real estate market crash in Fayetteville, North Carolina? Everything seems to be pointing that way, possibly. I hear a lot of things, and you probably seen them too, of headlines of market bubble burst, crash, or we are headed to a crash.
Crash!
It certainly seems that way, that we could be heading to a market crash. Interest rates are back up to about 5.5%. Just a few weeks ago, they were around 4%. So today I want to explain what a market crash is, what a market bubble is, and what I think is going to happen and what the experts are saying. So first I'm going to explain what a bubble is. So a bubble is when you have supply and demand. So in this case, the demand is buyers and the supply is homes. And right now, the demand is very high. We have
Supply, demand,
a whole lot of buyers, and we don't have a lot of inventory of homes. So very low. And it's kind of what we've seen for the past 2 years. We've seen just buyers, an influx of buyers and limited inventory. So next I'm going to define what a market crash is. Well, a crash is just the opposite of what I just said. Now supply and demand goes in reverse. So now you have a low demand of buyers, and you have a high inventory of a product, in this case houses. The main thing to remember about a market crash is this. The main points are this: losses pile up, the credit standard is more difficult to get or to receive, buyers decrease, sellers increase, and then the price of the home goes down.
going down.
Now, Zillow came out a few weeks ago and they wrote an article saying they do not believe that we are in a housing bubble
That's crazy talk!
or headed to a crash. They gave some key points, one of them being that 37% of homeowners are mortgage free. And the average equity across the nation is $185,000. Home prices have increased by 34% since the pandemic started, which was just over 2 years ago. And in the past 12 months, it's gone up 19.9%. Across the nation, the median price range was at $329,000. Now it's up to $428,000.
Wow.
Now, at the beginning of this year, interest rate was around 3.2, I believe, and now it's up to 5.5, the highest it's been since 2009. And that was the other great recession that we were in. Another reason why Zillow doesn't think we're in a market crash or headed to a crash is because the price of homes are still increasing. They're going up and up and up. It's like a freight train that just won't stop. Home prices are not expected to drop. So they're continuing to rise. Experts believe they will continue to rise at a slower pace due to the interest rates being risen a little bit. According to Doug Duncan, who is the Senior Vice President and Chief Economist for Fannie Mae, he believes home prices will decrease to match income and interest rates. He also said he did not expect home prices to come down, but rise at a slower pace. And the Federal Reserve expects a rate increase of about 10% by the end of this year. What other real estate agents and I are seeing in our Fayetteville market is this. We have noticed in the past couple weeks, since the interest rates have risen, that homes are on the market just a little bit longer. Usually they're on the market for about 2 or 3 days, maybe 4. Now we've noticed they're up to about 5 days to a week on the market.
Thank you, God!
Of course, with interest being risen, we have less buyers, which is less competition for people who are continuing to want to look. Now, the bidding war is still going on. I actually just lost the bid yesterday, so it's still there. But what I've noticed is that instead of 20 to 30 offers on homes, they're looking to get about 5 to 7 offers. So less competition. There's still competition there, but at least you're not competing with 20 offers. You're competing about 5 to 7 offers.
Great news.
In the last few listings I've had, I've also noticed that due diligence money and earnest money and appraisal gaps have been lower, or they have not even offered an appraisal gap. About a month ago, we had about just over 500 active homes on the market. And checking it this morning, we have about 611 homes active on the market. So in a month, we've increased our inventory by 100 homes. We are nowhere near back to a balance. What I think we're going to head back to is a balanced market.
Balance.
First, to be a balanced market in Fayetteville, we need at least 4,000 active homes on the market. And a balanced market typically is about 6 months to sell a home. So if you are a seller, it would take approximately an average 6 months to sell your home. Now, is it still a great time to sell? Most definitely. Anytime you have people competing for your home, it's still a great time to sell. It's slight change in the market, but not so much to where it's affecting possibly the sale of a home. So in my area, Fayetteville and the surrounding areas, it's kind of a weird time right now. If you're still looking to buy or you want to buy, it's good. It's just the competition is still there, but not a lot like it was last time.
Just got into this stupid competition.
Are we in a housing bubble? In my opinion, we are not in a housing bubble or headed to a crash. We do have rising interest rates and inflation, and I think those things will cause a shift in the market, but I don't think necessarily we're saying a crash. Of course, I can't see into the future.
I see the future.
So it's hard to predict, but everything we've seen so far, it does not look like to be a market crash. I think we're in a market cool down period, and the cool down period is due to the demand. The demand from buyers is not as high. It's slightly changed, just a little bit, due to the interest rates. Are we headed to a recession, or are we in a recession now? I believe we are headed for a recession. So let me give you some stats real quick. In the year 2000, 22 years ago, the median price home was $165,000. Right now, it is $429,000. So in just 22 years, the home price almost quadrupled. So if you're looking for the market to crash to get a better bang for your buck, so to say, I totally understand. People are sitting on sidelines, they're waiting for that to happen, and we just can't see into the future. But that's a possibility that it could happen, and we'll just have to wait and see. But with everything I've said, I can say this. I believe the housing market will slow down this year and go into next year. If you enjoyed that video, please check out these other videos that I have. The one up top talks about investing in Fayetteville, North Carolina, 3 ways you can. And the second video is a video YouTube provided that they think you may enjoy. See you guys in the next video.